Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. In this video today we're going to be looking at paper 2 from the CIE ICT IGCSE course. So paper 2 is a practical paper which is 2 hours and 30 minutes long. It includes document production, data manipulation and presentations. So we're going to be looking at the February-March 2019 paper. So let's scroll down. Okay, so you basically work for an international summer school and you're going to be basically completing some tasks. So task 1 is the evidence document. Okay, so let's highlight this. So first of all, we need to open up the file m219evidence.rtf. So if I go to my source folder, let's locate the file. So it's this file here. Let's double click. Okay, what we need to do is make sure your name and center number and candidate number appears on every page of your evidence document. So what we can do, we can include a header at the top of the evidence document. So here's the evidence document. To include a header, we click on insert, we click on header, and I always go with the option which gives us 3 columns. So there's no specifics on alignment, we just need to include this information. It doesn't really have to be at the top of the page, it could be at the bottom, but I prefer to have this information at the top. So first of all, we're going to have your name. For the center number, I'll use 5, 6, 7 and 8, and for my candidate number, I'll use 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go back to the evidence document. Okay, let's type my name first of all. Then let's type in this center number, so 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously in the exam you'll be using the details given to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can close this. So now this information will appear on every page of your document. Okay, the next thing which we need to do is save this as a word process document. So you'll notice the format is in RTF. So we need to save it as a word process document into your work area with the file name m219 evidence. So let me just copy this, followed by your candidate number. So for my candidate number, I'll use 1, 2, 3, 4 as mentioned. So what we're going to do, I'm going to click on File, Save As, into your source folder. So yep, here's my source folder. First of all, change the file type to the Word document, and then let me just copy and paste the new name in, followed by your candidate number. So in this case I'll type in 1, 2, 3 and 4. Save. Okay, and you can see the new name along the top here, including the candidate number. Right, you will need to place screenshots and answers in this evidence document. So we are going to be referring back to this evidence document. If you have a look at it, you'll notice we have up to 14 different types of evidence that we will need to take during this examination. Some of the evidence may be screenshots, some evidence may be where you have to write in answers for questions. And one of the questions may be to complete this table here as well. Okay, so let's now move on to task 2, document. So you're going to edit a document and apply the paragraph styles as defined in the corporate house style. You may need to edit some of the styles used in a document to meet the requirement. Okay, so let me highlight this. Right, so question 1, open a file m219 archaeology.rtf in a suitable word processing package. Okay. So let's go to your source folder. Let's find the file. So it's this file here. Double click. Okay, so what we need to do, once the file is open, we need to save the document into your work area in the format of the software you're using with the file name here. So A190XINFO. So let me just copy this name here. Okay, enable editing. So let's go to File, Save As. You'll notice is in a RTF format. What we need to do is save it in the format of the software we're using. So we need to save it as a Word document. So let's click down. Make sure you're in the same folder. Yep, I'm in the source folder. And then you can enter the name given to you. Okay. double check it is saving as a Word document and then click on save. Okay, job done. Let me just zoom in slightly so it's just one page. Okay, job done. So for the first evidence, place in the evidence document a screenshot to show this file has been saved. Make sure there's evidence of the file type. So for the screenshots, you can either use a snipping tool. I just prefer to take a screenshot. That's what I've been doing all this time. So here is the file that we've just saved, and here's the format of the file as well. It's saved as a Microsoft Word document file. So let me take a print screen. This was the original file, as you can see here as well. If I go to my evidence document, evidence 1, let's paste, and then I'm just going to crop this part off. So as mentioned, if you want to use a snipping tool, that's up to you. I've just got so used to doing this now, so I'm going to stick to this method. So you want to make sure the print screen is clear. Here you can see the file name, file type, and a file path as well to show it's been saved into your work area. Okay, so that's that done. Question 2. Change the document settings to be A4 with landscape orientation. So if we go back to my page or my Word document, if you go to layout, let's go to size and change this to A4, or what we can do, we can click on more paper sizes, layout, actually no, yeah, so paper, custom size, we can select A4 here. Okay, the second thing we need to do is to change it to a landscape orientation as well. So if I go to margins, we can select landscape. Let's press OK, and again we can zoom out. You can see it's A4 now and we're in a landscape format. You also could have clicked here, selected landscape from this option, and for size you also could have gone here as well. Right, that's that part done. Set all margins to 2 centimeters. So we can go to layout again, margins, and again I prefer to click on custom margins, and you'll notice all of the margins are 3 centimeters, top, left, bottom and right. So we need to change them to 2 centimeters. And you can see the margins are changing on this preview here. So let's say, for example, on the right side, if I set the margin to 10 centimeters, you can see on the preview in a minute, just click here, the margin's a little bit bigger. So obviously check the preview. If it doesn't look right, then make the necessary changes. So 2 centimeters, that's fine. Okay, so for the evidence document, what we need to do is show settings for the margins and the paper size and page orientation. So let me first of all take a print screen of this. So this shows the margins are 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and the page orientation is landscape. Let me just press OK. And then the next print screen I need to take is to show the paper size is set to A4. Okay, so again, increase the size of the print screen, make sure it's nice and clear. Here we've got the margin sizes, and here we see the page has been set to landscape. Okay, if we go back to my Word document, we can go to size, more paper sizes, and we can also take this print screen as well. Again, crop off the parts which you don't need. Okay, and then we can increase the size. There we go, job done. So it's really important when you are taking the print screens, you can see what you've actually taken a print screen of. So this was the file name, showing that you saved it as a Word document. We got margins, the page orientation, and also the page setup showing it's been saved as A4. Let me save the changes to the evidence document. Evidence 2 is now complete. Okay. Question 4. We now need to place a header in a document. So again, we can click on Insert. We can go to Header, and I always select the option which gives us the 3 columns. Okay. So what we need to have is an automated date field to display today's date left align. So since it's a field that they want, what I'm going to do is click on this part here on the left part of the header, go to Quick Parts, Field, and then I'm going to select the date. And then here you may choose format for the date. Let me double check. Have they given us a specific format? No, they haven't. Okay, so that's fine. We can select any format for now. And then let's press OK. So we've got the date, your name, center number, and candidate number right aligned. So we're not going to have anything in the middle, so let's delete this one here. And on the right hand side, let me include my name. And then the next thing that we need to do is the center number. So for center number, we're going to use 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we've got the candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4. If I close the header, and then if we go to File and Print, that's the first page. If we go to the second page, you can see we've still got the header details shown. And then that's the third page. Okay, so let's go back. Now we need to insert the footer. So in the footer, we need to have automated page numbers left aligned. So let's first of all insert a footer. So if I click on Insert, Footer, again, I'm going to select the option which gives us the 3 columns. On the left hand side, we need to include automated page numbers. So if I click here on the left side and then click on Page Numbers, Current Position, let's insert a page number. Okay. And then the file name with its full path right aligned. So again, we've got nothing in the middle, so let's delete this one. And then the file name and file path, we need to go to Quick Parts again. Field, let's go down to File Name. And we also want to add the file path as well. So let's click on this option here. Let's press OK. So it doesn't matter that it's come onto the second line. The main thing is we've got the file name, as we can see here, and then the file path as well. As long as it's right aligned, you shouldn't lose any marks. So let's close the header and footer. Again, you can check the print preview. So we've got the header details, we've got the page number here. You can see it's 1. If you want to zoom in, you can see. If we go to the second page, the number changes to 2. We've still got the file name and file path on the right side, and then the number changes to 3. Okay, so let me just save the changes here. Okay, so that's that done. Right, so make sure that all items align to the page margins. I'll explain that in a moment. No other text or placeholders appear in the headers and footers. So that was the middle option which I deleted. So remember, we had a placeholder in the middle, at the top, and at the bottom, which I've deleted. So that's what that means. And headers and footers are displayed on all pages, which I've already checked. So what does this first part mean? All items align to the page margins. So you can see here is the margin of the page. It might be easy if you go to print preview again. So here's the margin of the page, and you can see the headers and the footers are aligned to the margins. Okay, so even on the right hand side as well. Okay. Okay, so let's now move on to the house style specifications for the paragraphs. Okay, so these styles have already been applied to the document. So if I go back to the Word document, let me just click on the styles icon here, and you can see these styles have been created. So ARC, body, subhead, subtitle, table, and title. So ARC, yes. So these styles have been created already and applied to the document. So you can see there's some sort of formatting applied to the document already. Okay. What we have to do now, this is slightly different. We basically, question 5, We have to check that the styles applied to the document are correct as specified and match them to the house style specifications, which is this sheet here. Identify and correct only the settings of the styles that are incorrect. Evidence 3 is provide screenshot evidence of any settings for styles that you've corrected and place these into your evidence document. So first of all, let's start with the title. Okay. So I'm going to right click and select modify. Okay, so I'm going to check the name first of all, ARC-title. Yeah, should be a sans serif font, so Arial is correct. The size should be 20 and the alignment should be center aligned. So yep, the size is 20. The text alignment is center aligned, as you can see here. All capital letters, single line spacing. You can see in the preview that all caps has been selected. If it wasn't selected, you can go to format, font, and you can select this option here, but it's done already. No space before and 12 point space after. So if we go to format, paragraph, you can see the spacing here is shown, and we can also double check here. So there's no space before and a 12 point space after. So this one is fine. So the first style is perfect. We don't need to make any changes here. So now let's look at the subtitle. It's this one here. So let's modify. So the name is correct. Again, it's going to be a sans serif font. Size is 18. So we've got Arial, which is correct. Size is correct. The alignment will be right and the enhancement will be italic. So we got italic and we got right alignment. Single line spacing. Yes, the single line spacing has been selected. And again, same as before, no space before, 12 point space after. So let's go to format, paragraph, no space before, space after. So that again, this one is fine. We don't need to change anything. So we can highlight this, and that's fine. Now we're going to be looking at ARC subhead. The font in this case should be a serif font. So I normally go for Times New Roman. So let's just have a look here. Why does that keep showing down? So it's subhead, isn't it? Yeah, we're looking at modify. Yep, so Times New Roman, since it's serif. 16. It should be center aligned, bold and underlined. So here you notice the first mistake. So this is not being center aligned, so that's going to be the first print screen we need to take. And is it bold and underlined? It's not bold, it's italic though, so we can take off italic. Okay, and we can make it center aligned. So here we made the first changes. So we made it center aligned, we made the text bold and underlined. The line spacing should be single, no space before and 12 point space after. So let's go to format, paragraph. So this is fine, line spacing is single as well. So this is going to be the first print screen that we're going to take, and I'm going to also include a subhead name. So we made it bold and underlined. This italic was selected before, and we've also changed the alignment to center. So let me take a print screen of this. Let's press OK. So the print screen should go into evidence 3. Actually, I've just noticed this was evidence 2 and also this was evidence 2 as well. So let me just move this evidence 3 below. So that was a mistake actually, so it doesn't matter, I found out now. I'll take the print screen again. So it's always good to double check what you're doing. So if you do make a mistake, you can always go back and you can change Okay, let me take a print screen again. Okay, so for the evidence, provide screenshot evidence of any settings for styles that you've corrected and place these into your evidence document. So you don't need to annotate anything, you just need to basically include screenshot. Okay, so that's that one done. So 2 more to go. Now we're going to be looking at body, and again we're going to be having a serif font. So let's go back to the Word document. Let's open up body. And you'll notice we don't have a serif font, we have a sans serif font, which is Arial. So the first mistake is to change this back into a serif font. So let me change that to Times New Roman. The size is 14, which is correct, as you can see here. Now the alignment should be justified. So at the moment it's left aligned, so it needs to be justified, so straight on both sides. So we can select this option here. If you don't see the justified option here, you can also go to Format, Paragraph, and select Justified from this option here as well. Okay, so that's that done. Now for the enhancements, you'll notice we don't have the typical enhancements like bold, italic, underline. So we need to take this bold off. But what we need to do is the first line should be indented 1 centimeter from the left. Okay, so just the first line needs to be indented. So if I go to Format, Paragraph, so we're not going to indent the whole paragraph. So typically you type in 1 centimeter here. Since we only want to indent just the first line, we click on a special drop down menu, we select the first line, and we want to indent by 1 centimeter. Okay, so I'll take this print screen in a moment. And the last thing is the double line spacing. So here we have single line spacing. This is 1.5 line spacing. It's just the space in between the lines. We want double line spacing, which is here. Okay, and just before we close down, we need to check there's no space before or no space after. So if we go to Format, Paragraph, yeah, there's no space before and no space after. So what I'm going to do is actually take a print screen of this to show we've changed from a sans serif font to a serif font. It's now Times New Roman, and the alignment is justified, the spacing is double, there's no enhancements here like bold, italic or underline. But what we have done is we've included indentation just for the first line by 1 centimeter. So let me print screen this. Let me press OK. Okay, so you can see the first line's been indented. Right, and let me take a print screen. Oh, I've taken a print screen, let me paste my print screen. So we're still part of evidence 3. Let me paste in. Okay, and again, you can increase the size of the print screen to show what you've actually done. Okay, so here the font size is now Times New Roman, it's justified, double line spacing, the bold has been taken off, and the first line has been indented by 1 centimeter. Okay, I'll just put space there. Right, so that's that one done, and let's finally check the table. So the table setting should be serif and 14. So let's right click on table, modify. So Times New Roman is 14, which is correct. Left align, which is correct. No enhancements, which is correct. Single line spacing, which has been selected. Okay, and it should be no space before or no space after. So if you go to Format, Paragraph, no space before, no space after. So we can press OK. So that's done. Let me save the changes. Okay, so that's that done as well. So this was the first time where I can remember the styles were given to you. You basically had to check for mistakes and then take the print screens where you've identified and corrected the mistakes. Okay, so we've done that now. Question 6. Change the page layout so that the subheading "Our New International Course" and all the following text is displayed in 2 columns of equal width with a 1 centimeter space between them. So let me first of all find this subheading "Our New International Course." So it's here, so let me double check. So change the page layout so the subheading, and so this is included, and all the following contents is displayed in 2 columns. So let me highlight this subheading and then all of the remaining content. Okay, we want to put this into columns, so if we go to layout, let's click on the columns option, and I always click on more columns, so we can select 2 columns, and the spacing is going to be 1 centimeter in between. Let me double check if that's right. So change the page layout from this subheading so the following text is displayed in 2 columns, and I want to, yeah, that's that done. Let's click OK. Yep, so that's looking good now. Let me just go down. Yep, so far so good. Let's save the changes. I also want to save the changes to the evidence document as well. Okay, that's that done. Okay, question 7. Import an image m219forum.jpg. So what we need to do is place this at the start of the paragraph below the subheading YAHMAD. Okay, so if we go back to my Word document, I can see it here actually, the subheading. What I've done in the past is sometimes click on find and then you can type in a subheading name, but I don't need to since I found it already. So okay, so that's that fine. So we're going to insert a picture just below. Since there's not really much space for a picture, what I'm going to do is just bring this down onto the next page, this paragraph and the heading. Okay, so I'm going to click here. So we're going to import the picture m219forum at the start of the paragraph. So that's why I've clicked here at the start. So to insert a picture, you click on insert picture, and it's going to be this one here. Click on insert. Okay, so that's that done. So now what we need to do, question 8, is to remove the bottom third of the image. Okay, so we don't have to be exact here, so let's go back to the Word document. So that's probably the top part, the middle part, so we just need to get rid of this bottom part here. So if we click on the picture, click on the crop tool, yeah, about 3 centimeters from the bottom, say for example. Yeah, that's about right, yeah. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is resize the image so it's 6.5 centimeters wide with the aspect ratio maintained. So let's type in here 6.5 centimeters, and what should happen is the height should change accordingly as well. Okay, so yes, it's now 3.1 for the height and 6.5 centimeters wide. Okay, so we've done that one now. Let's move down. So align the image, question 10, to the top of the text, "The city flourished through." Okay, so yeah, so it has to be aligned here. So what I'm going to do is wrap the text. So let's select the type position. It has to be aligned to left margin and then to the top of the paragraph, or to the first line. Okay, so let's just move this here, and you can see that green line as well. It just shows it's been aligned to the top of the paragraph as well. And you got that other line as well that shows it's been aligned to the margin as well. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's save the changes. Yeah, so I think I jumped the gun here, so make sure the text wraps around the image. So I think that's a typical thing that you have to do, so that's probably why I did that before I saw the question. Question 12 now. Okay, so we're going to format the first row of the table. So let's first of all go to the table before I look at the rest of the question. So where's my table gone now? Table is here. Okay, so obviously a table is across two columns, which is not something that we typically do, but anyway, let's just see what we have to do first of all. So format the first row of the table by merging the three columns. So let me just highlight the three columns. If I right click my mouse, we can select merge cells here. Center aligning the text in a merge cell. So if I highlight the text, we can center align it. Okay. Yeah, there was just a space before. I got rid of that space now. Let's center align it again. Yep, it's been center aligned. And shading a merge cell with a light grey background between 20 and 40%. So we can click on the paint bucket. Just want to click on the text between 20 and 40%. So if you keep your mouse long enough on the color, you can see the percentage. So we got 25%. Okay, so that's that done. Question 13. Apply the ARC subhead style to the top two rows of the table. So that's the first row and that's the second row. So if we click here, ARC subhead, let me just double check. Yeah. Okay, so that's looking good. And let me double check the house style actually. So subhead was 16, center, bold and underline. So that looks right to me so far. So we've done that. And then apply the ARC table style to the other rows in the table. Okay, so what we need to do is basically highlight the other rows in the table and let's apply this style here. Okay, so the table's looking a bit better now. Okay, so make sure that the table fits within the columns and with no words split on text wrap. So what that basically means is text can wrap, but the words are not split over two lines. So location is one word and it's gone on to the second line, which is fine. So what we don't want is the first part of location on one line and the second part of location on the second line. So yeah, we have got a text wrap, but no words have been split. Okay, so that's fine. The table fits within the columns, as you can see here. So what you don't want is the table to be outside of the columns, so it should fit within the column. Okay, no blank rows in the table, so we do have one at the bottom, so we can delete that row along the bottom. So let me right click and click on delete cells, entire row, yes. All internal and external grid lines are displayed when printed. So that's basically these borders here. So if you go to file and print preview, you can check that yourself. Yep, the grid lines are showing. Okay, so that's that done. Now what we need to do is spell check and proofread the document. Okay, so if I just quickly go up, if we go to review, where's spelling now? Yeah, so let's check the document. Get rid of this here. So we've got two spelling. Yeah, so that should be huge range of subjects. So let me just change that. And this is also a mistake as well. Okay, so we zoom spelling. So we've done that. A grammar check. Okay, yeah, let's join the two words together. Okay. So let's have a quick look now. So looking good, we've come to the end now pretty much. So what we need to do before we print out. So we need to make sure there's no widows or orphans. So let's double check that now. Okay, that's looking good. What we can do, let's just move this paragraph to the top of the next column. Actually, should have done that. Let me press Ctrl Z. Just press enter. Yep, so I think that's a bit better. So that's shown there in full. Yep, that paragraph is in full here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is we need to make sure the table is not split over 2 columns or pages. So just before here, let me just press Ctrl and enter. Actually, I'll just press enter. So we've got the table at the start of that column there. Yep, that's fine. So it's not split now over 2 columns. Correct house styles have been applied. So that's what we've been checking as we've been going along. Spacing between all items is consistent. So what you don't want is a space, like a random space in between. So spacing looks fine. If I go to file and print preview again, it's probably the best way of checking to see the consistency of the spacing. Yeah. And save the document, and now we go to print. Let me just save the document. And like I said, before you print, check for all of the mistakes again. Go check the print preview. If you do print and you receive your documents in the exam, always check for mistakes. And if you have noticed you have made mistakes, then you can fix the mistakes and print as many times as you want. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. Please show your support to the channel. Please subscribe below, drop your comments, and hopefully join me for the next video on databases. Thanks again for your time.